Donald Trump throwing in his name and saying that, guess what? I've decided who I'm going to endorse. I'm endorsing Mitt Romney. He knows Newt Gingrich. He's known him actually for a long time, and a lot of people thought that any Trump endorsement would go to Newt Gingrich. Instead, it's going to Mitt Romney, who was happy to get it, and it was in Las Vegas today. And joining us to talk about that and the very latest in the GOP race is Tracy Davis, former speechwriter for President George H.W. Bush. How are you, Tracy? Great to have you back on the show.
Thank you, Rita. I'm doing fine. Congratulations on October 11th.
Oh, thank you.
Rita Cosby Day in New York.
Rita Cosby Day in New York. Thank you very much. You know, it was so cute. They surprised me. I had no idea I was getting it. And it was very cute. I said, boy, I wish I had known I could have gotten free parking in New York. That would have been a real treat.
Or a key or something. But that's fantastic. That's adorable.
Thank you. Well, and also what I love is that I was given it for my help with the Polish community, and my father's Polish. And to me, it's been really great. And one of my great honors, you just heard in a matter of days, I'm going to be having dinner with Lech Walesa. What a great opportunity.
That's incredible. Sometime off the air, or sometime I'll have to tell you about my grandfather's role in with Poland. My father lived in Poland during World War II, and my grandfather was the one. He marched. He made an agreement with Hitler and marched 1,000 Jews out of Poland, and he was the one who was in Warsaw, fought to the end because the ambassador left. So. Anyway.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I want to hear more about that. What a great story. What an important story, too.
So we'll talk about that sometime. Anyway, so I have a lot of interest in that.
Yes. And boy, Lech Walesa, too, is one of those great sort of living legends out there. There's not that many. And you think about what he went through and the courage and the guts. And it's indicative, I think, of that Polish spirit that your grandfather had, obviously, too, you know?
Yes, he was the, right under the ambassador. He was sent over by America. And he was the consul general.
Oh, how great. How great. Well, we have to definitely talk more about that, too. And in the meantime, another guy who's getting headlines all over the place, Donald Trump.
He loves headlines.
He loves headlines. What did you make of the fact he endorsed Romney?
Well, I think it's great for Romney. I mean, the timing couldn't have been better for him because it took some of the press heat off of his unfortunate comments about not caring about the poor, although they were taken out of context. He still was getting heat from both sides, so it kind of takes a little attention off of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Trump, it never hurts. You know, some people are saying, oh, does it help? Does it hurt? I mean, look, Trump is such a boisterous, vocal, supporter or critic. So Why not have him in your corner? My goodness.
Yes, and he's a Washington outsider, and I think that in the culture, in American culture, people who aren't addicted to politics, most people, so many don't even know who the vice president is, but they know who Trump is, and they've watched The Apprentice, and he sort of has this impression of a very hard-working entrepreneur, very successful, a little over the top, but still, he has an optimistic kind of aura about him. And just 2 days ago, he was considering a third-party run, which would have made any Republican nominee very nervous.
Right, so it helps. And by the way, he came out and said, look, if Romney is the nominee, I will not do a third-party run. So he's sort of holding the party's feet to the fire, too, which was an interesting move.
Very interesting. He always has to pull a little something.
Now, what do you make of the fact that he didn't pick Gingrich? Why do you think he picked Romney? What do you attribute to the reason behind this choice for Trump to get out there? By the way, his show with the new season's kicking off. I mean, there's some timing to this too.
Oh yes, always a little bit of self-promotion. I think that Gingrich really hung himself as he has a tendency to do in Florida. He boxed himself in with the debates when he said that he would beat Obama with the debates and then not doing well in them. And then to go farther and say that he refused to have press moderate debates. A president obviously has to deal with the press. It seems odd to me that Obama somehow gets a free pass and doesn't have to have press conferences, but it just makes him seem, if he can't deal with the press, and he was very whiny and angry, he got off message, and then the voter has to think, how is he going to deal with the Obama bomb? How is he going to deal with what people were thinking would be the $1 billion Obama bomb if he can't even handle Romney? And it was ironic that when he was giving his concession speech, which really wasn't a concession at all, but it was his best speech, and it was very specific and uplifting about what he could do, but he did not stick to that message in Florida, and so he came off seeming like a bitter loser, and I think that Trump likes to be with a winner.
Yeah, and he certainly sees the tea leaves right now, although in this crazy race, anything can happen.
Never
You
know.
never know, Tracy.
You never know.
And Tracy Davis, thank you so much. And I love the story about your your grandfather going over there, the consul general. What a great story going there in Poland and doing some incredible things at a very difficult time in history.
Yes, we'll talk about that sometime, Rita, and have a great day, and thank you for having me on.
Wonderful to have you on. Tracy Davis, former speechwriter for President George H.W. Bush. And when we come back here on the Rita Cosby Show,